This is round 3 of the Shepardstown Open in West Virginia, Eastern West Virginia, and I'm playing my roommate. We're both 2 out of 2. He beat up 2 unrateds, or maybe 1 700 or something like that on his way. I beat a 600 or 1600 and a 200 on my way here, and now we woke up in the same house. Hello cat. We woke up in the same house, but now we're playing each other an hour away from our apartment. And yeah, this is my second time playing Ethan. Last time I had white, this time I have black, so let's see how it goes. I know he is a London player, and recently he's been switching a bit to the regular London, but he is also a Jobava London player. So I play d5, he plays London, and we both move our e-pawns out once. I don't like to develop my bishop out in the London. I like to just prioritize kingside development. But after e6, now he plays knight c3, and because he actually knows the move order I play. If he played knight c3 here and bishop f4, so a move order like this, like knight c3 on move 3 or bishop f4 after knight f3 or knight c3, then I'm going to play c5. And this is a pretty good. And he likes to go e3, and he didn't want to go for this setup where I get c5 in. He wanted me to commit the pawn to e6 first, and then play knight c3. So I can still go for c5, but it's not the same because I can't bring my bishop out. I go bishop d6. He leaves it there, and I definitely like this pawn structure. There's probably nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just fine for black, but I don't prefer this setup. I don't want him to get a stone-like position, stonewall-like position with these two center pawns. So I did not take on f4. I just castled. He developed, and then I played c5. So still playing c5, just a delayed c5. And this knight in front of the c pawn is still anti-positional, so it doesn't feel right. But with this knight, that means he is going to go for e4. Without a doubt, he's going to go for e4. And so when he took on c5, I was like, oh. I sort of was not expecting that, but it makes sense because he put his knight on c3 in front of his own c pawn, because he wants to maintain his e pawn to break with e4. I take back, and then he castles, and I just keep developing. And now he plays rook e1, preparing e4 another turn. He could have played e4 now. Nothing's wrong with that. Yeah, I don't know why he wanted to wait one more move. Nothing wrong with that. And he actually thought for a while. You know, it's game in 30, delay 5. So they don't have all the time in the world. I ended up with queen e7. Ended up going queen e7. And because I really wasn't sure what else I wanted to do. You know, I thought about everything. I was like, do I want to go queen a5? Do I want to go queen b6? Well, that sucks. Do I want to go a6 with an e4? And I was like, and how am I going to fix this light square bishop? I could go bishop d6. I could do a retreating move, bishop d6. Like, that's probably not that bad. But then you can, like, you know, takes, e4. Takes. This is probably fine. But I'm left with this light square bishop once again that isn't that developed. So I was really trying to find out a solution. Like, how am I going to finish my development? And I ended up coming up with a plan that I've seen before, which after e4 I'm going to push f6 and e5. So I thought I figured out this idea after thinking for 7 minutes or so. He plays e4, we trade, and now I play f6. He plays queen d3, which is a move I actually wasn't expecting, but is really, really strong because it just attacks h6. I have to go g6. And my king's feeling a bit airy here, is not that comfortable. I go h6, and that loses on the spot. Because he just goes bishop h7 check, and knight h4, and he's threatening a royal fork, and he's threatening the rook and queen. Like, there's literally nothing I can do. If I go queen e8, for example, he can go check, takes, and bring his knight out. I guess I could go here. And whoop-de-doo, I'm only down in exchange. So if he had just played bishop h7 check and knight h4, I lose the game on the spot. But he actually didn't see that. So he just took on c6, which is, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Because like after I played h6, because I played h6 really fast because I thought for a long time on queen e7 and I was down on time. And that just loses on the spot. So and my light squares are going to be weak for a long time. But so when he trades off his light square bishop, that's like a huge sigh of relief for me because now I'm not going to have as much pressure on my light squares, and I can just play e5 and bishop e6 to finish my development. He centralizes rook. I push my pawn. This pawn is pinned. He doesn't have to move it, but eventually I'm going to unpin myself with bishop e6. So he has to move it. And bishop g3 though is not good. It's really, really not good. And he said after the game that he thought bishop e3 wasn't possible because of e4 forking the knight and queen. But after bishop takes, if I take, he takes, and he's doing quite well here. He's up a piece. So if he played bishop e3, I probably just finish development and we continue the game from there. But now he trades off this piece. So when your opponent has the bishop pair, you want to trade off one of their bishops. So if he played bishop e3, he achieves that. But now he played bishop g3, and now I just have the bishop pair, and I'm just going to slowly improve, and his bishop is stuck behind my pawn chain forever, and I'm doing quite well. And after bishop g3, I really felt, okay, I can win this game. I'm going to win this game. He plays knight h4. I in my light squares, but it's too little too late. I play rook fd8, centralizing, gonna put my two rooks in the open files, nothing complicated. Queen g6 doesn't do anything, but continue going. If he ever plays knight f5, I'm always snapping it off. And yeah, I mean, do I want to maintain my bishop pair? Yes. However, after we trade and he plays knight f5 and I take, his remaining minor piece is much worse than my remaining minor piece. And this pawn is hanging, this pawn is, and I can infiltrate very easily. So I'm doing quite well here. I played queen d2, attacking the rook, and I was just like, okay, rook f1 is miserable, then I'm just going to take, most likely. And if he plays rook b1 to guard that pawn, I still take, and this happened in the game. Which I was very happy he allowed me to do. But his idea is to just go check and potentially have a perpetual. But I just went king h7. And my first intention with king h7 was to like repeat once and then go out. And then if he continues checking, I can always just block with the bishop. But after after I went king e7, king h7, I was like, oh wait, if he goes queen f5, I can go g6. My queen covers the check, and now both his queen and his rook are hanging. So actually, I didn't realize that until after I played king h7. He played rook f1 now, so he realized that he doesn't have any more checks, and then I take on c2, and I play f5 here. A very flashy move because I hang the pawn, and now he threatens mate, and he threatens the rook, but that allows me to go queen f2 check, and after he takes, this is just going to be check and mate with the bishop pinning the rook to the king. So he said after the game that like he probably should have just let it happen because it would have been a nice way for the game to end. Instead, he stays alive. He plays h3, I play f4, bishop h4, and rook b1. And we trade, and I go queen g6, and here I am just winning. Everything is defended. Everything is defended here. What's also nice is that, I mean, he doesn't have time, but he can never take on c5 because there's discovered checks, or take on c6, I should say. So yeah, there's really nothing to do here for white. I was really happy with this plan. I just really want to highlight just like this plan of f5, f4, and then trading rooks, and then bring my queen back, and just like having these kingside pawns roll down the board. Because if you look at like what's my advantage here? Well, one, I have more activity with my queen and bishop. Two, I have 2 extra pawns, and one of them's here. It might be hard to push, but the other one here, I can just start rolling it down the board and help make his king more weak, actually. So I was really happy with this plan of f5, f4. And after queen g6, I stopped notating because I had no time. I had like 1 minute on the clock. I don't remember exactly how the game went, but it went something along the lines of like I just pushed my pawns. And eventually, I was able to just trade queens and be up 2 pawns. We actually traded bishops and queens. I don't know how we traded bishops. Like, genuinely, I don't know how we traded bishops. But something like this happened where we just traded. And after we traded queens, he resigned. So I enter round 4 with 3 out of 3. And beating 2 1600s along the way, so I can't complain, but at the same time I will. Yeah, it was fun for me to play him for a second time with colors reversed, but always funny when you travel so far just to play someone you could have just, you know, played after a 30-second walk, if even. Anyways, I'll end it there. I'll have the game review. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.